everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica and today I will be doing my makeup rehab for the month of July. And this one's a little bit more exciting because I actually did purchase something. So let's just get started because there's not that many empties. There's a few purchases, but I'm going to be doing an eyeshadow declutter, like eyeshadow palette declutter. So if you don't know what a makeup rehab is, I'll leave it in my description box, but it's already July, so I figured maybe by now people already know what it is. So it's basically a structured low buy. I'm going to go over my empties first, and I'm going to start off with skincare because skincare doesn't really count towards or against my beauty bank because it's like something I would consider necessary for me, and I don't really have a problem with skincare. If I did, I would have a separate video on that. But I finished up these two Sol de Janeiro body creams. This one's the Bom Dia Bright cream, and this one is the Beja Flor. I hope I'm saying that correctly because maybe it's Beja and I don't know. This one I used it on my stretch marks. I have stretch marks on my stomach because I'm fat, and I also have it like in other places where I stretched too much for my skin. But I only use this on my stomach because this helps with like the bumps. I feel like sometimes it's like itchy, and this definitely helps with that. And I don't really care if I have stretch marks or not. I'm not trying to reduce the appearance, but if it's itchy, I'm going to put something on it. So this has been great for that. It actually smoothed the bumps down a little bit, so instead of them being so high up, it feels a little bit flatter. And I feel like this is actually more moisturizing than this, so I might switch from this to this all over my body in the future. But I did purchase a full size of this earlier this year, and I have this one for my keratosis pilaris, and my skin is like dependent on this now, so I have to buy it forever, and it's not cheap. But I bought 10 during the Sephora VIB sale, so I got like a 20% discount, and so technically I only paid for 8. I got 2 for free, but free. They're still very expensive. And then I used up another lotion. This is the Earth Mama Organic Nipple Butter. And this is supposed to be great for your lips, cheeks, and heels on top of nipples. I'm not a mom. Don't plan on becoming one for a while. I use this on my nipples because I have eczema there, and also like in between my boobs too because there's dry skin there because it's like stretched apart. And I feel like this really works. If I don't use this, I definitely notice it the next day because they're like extremely itchy. So I would not wish nipple eczema on anyone because it's so annoying. Like no matter how hard you scratch, it just still itches. But that's helped me like become less itchy and less dry, so I think I'll just have it forever. I've noticed that the less sugar I eat, the better it is though, so hopefully if I just stick on the low sugar path, I'll be fine. And the last product that I finished up this month, or I didn't really finish this, it's kind of like it dries up. It's a liquid eyeliner. This is the K Palette One Day Tattoo eyeliner, and this is like a very famous brand in Japan. This was the limited edition Nezuko pattern on it. I don't know if you can see like the kimono pattern on it. It was like a collaboration with Demon Slayer. This was in brown, I believe, or black brown, which is my preference. I don't prefer like a completely black eyeliner for a daily basis. For like special occasions, I feel like it's more fitting for that because it's more sharp, but this is like more natural looking. And I've had this for quite a while. It's been with me to Taiwan and Japan, so I think it's about time. Either way, if it didn't dry out, I was probably going to have to get rid of it by the end of the year for sanitary purposes. But I do really like liquid liners. I just wish they lasted longer and you could tell when they're going to go out instead of it just randomly going out. So I had 11 credits in my beauty bank, so I got 1 credit back for the eyeliner. It seems kind of like it's almost cheating to get a credit back for an eyeliner, but then I have to spend a credit to get an eyeliner, so it kind of works out that way. That was everything I used up this month. Not that much, just a lot of lotion. And I did make some purchases this month, so I'll talk about the purchases and then I did get a present, like a belated present. Okay, so I got these two eyeliners from Almay, and it says EWG verified for your health. Okay, sometimes I don't trust these things that say like clean beauty or stuff like that, because it's like $1 billion industry and like, you know, anything to get you to pay more. But I got these at Target. They were discounted, I think 15% off on Target Circle, at least for me. I know Target Circle's like got different coupons for everyone. And I got the shade 110 Rich Black and 130 Pure Plum. So this is what they look like. It's supposed to match, you know, the color of the packaging. I'm gonna move it, shift it this way so you can see. I have a ring light now, so that's why I'm brighter. But these are supposed to be, it says Almay All Day Intense Gel Eyeliner, up to 24 hours of color. It's waterproof, smooth glide. Or I have a black eyeliner, so I'm almost out. It's the Urban Decay one. I really like it, but I'm not going to pay Urban Decay prices. So I think I paid about $6 for these ones, and hopefully they work just as well. They're a little bit shorter than the Urban Decay one, I think. I think the Urban Decay ones are kind of long, but if, you know, these ones don't work, then I would just switch to that one. And I bought these mostly to use for like costume stuff, so it's okay. It doesn't have to like last all day at work. It just has to last a few hours. And I have like oily lids and monolids, so I feel like I tend to melt eyeliner off my lids very easily and end up with panda eyes. And then for my birthday, I got this kind of late. This is the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette. I wanted this for a while, actually. It was on my Sephora Loves list for at least a year, I feel like, or at least a few months. This is what it looks like. I finally got it, and at first when I got it, I thought it was like used because it didn't have the plastic protectant over it, or protector over it, because I'm used to like Too Faced having that. But the protector on the mirror is still there, and it didn't shatter or anything or look used. It looks used now because I used it, but I figured it was still brand new, and they just don't put plastic over the eyeshadow. I really missed the Huda Beauty formula, so that's why I requested this palette. And I can't wait to play with it because I am decluttering some eyeshadows, and there's like taupey shades that I wanted to hold the palette onto for like just one or two shadows, but then I was like, well, if I just get this palette, I don't have to hold on to a whole palette for just a few shades when it's like I feel like the formula is not that good. So I'm glad to have this and to be playing with it. It's great for like, I feel like these colors are better for work than my Too Faced summer palette. And I just miss this formula. I know not a lot of people, or like a lot of people are conflicted with her formula. Like they say it's too, like you have to build it up too much. It's not super pigmented, but that's what I like. It's really easy to blend. So far I've only used it once, which was today because I got it a few days ago. Rose Ink. It's a little lipstick in the shade Persuasive. Satin lip color. It's so cute, and my friend likes to say, so cute and little. So this is how much product it comes with. This is exactly what I mean by like the lipsticks are worth it getting for like, you know, free or redeeming the 100 point perk, because there's actually a substantial amount in there. I mean, it's not as much as, where'd it go? It's not as much as my like MAC mini. I'll show you a comparison. Please don't fall, I would be so sad. As you can see, it's about like half. Please focus. Yeah, so it's about like half the size. No, actually a little bit more. Yeah, it has 11 credits. I got one back for the eyeliner, so I had 12, and then I purchased 2 eyeliners. Wait, no, this was, I don't know, this came in with like my birthday present. So I don't know if I should count it. I would have 9 credits, but if I don't, it would count as 10. So I don't know. I didn't ask for this as a present, but then like it was a, if you spend more than $25 you get it. I'm gonna say no because it was a purchase with like, it was like kind of like gift with purchase with like a birthday present that I bought. I think I should clarify this. My brother is going to reimburse me for the palette, and that's why I placed the order. This is in no particular order other than the fact that it's in order from like closest to me to the furthest from me. So some of these are quite surprising because they are a bit new, but I just feel like I don't reach for them, and my palette drawer is like sagging, and I'd rather give them to better homes. So I have the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice palette. This is a palette I was debating keeping just for the taupe shades, but this is what mine looks like. I have already asked friends if they want to take the palettes that I'm going to be decluttering, and if they don't, I would try to find a different home for it. But this is, I don't know, to me it looks quite used. Well, not like super used, but it definitely looks used. And I don't know, I'm looking at this and I really like the mattes in here, but the metallics are not the best, and I do not like a lot of the shades on this side of the palette. So it's kind of like, why am I just keeping it for like, I don't know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades. This palette is 18 pans, and the smell, I remember when I first got it, I was like, it smells like a campfire, and it still smells like a campfire to me, like smoky and not like dessert. So this one, if no one wants it, I'd be fine with just tossing, because it's like on the older side and it definitely looks more used. And then I have Urban Decay Naked Reloaded. This one was surprising to me because I wanted this one for so long, but then when I look at this, I'm not really that inspired. Like, it looks barely used. I think I've used Barely Baked a lot. I've used Reputation. Yeah, I feel like some of these shades I haven't even touched. Well, Burn I haven't touched for sure. Maybe not even Retro. I just have a lot of these colors, like similar to this, in my collection, and it's so sad because like I bought a pack of these, like I think it was a 5-pack for half off each palette, and then now I'm just like slowly decluttering each palette. I feel like I already have this a lot in my collection, and it still looks new enough to pass on to a friend, so I'm going to be passing this on. And now we have smaller palettes. So I have two from Too Faced. I have, or had, a lot of Too Faced palettes. This is the Too Faced Major Love palette. This one really doesn't look that used, so I can definitely rehome this, but I just feel like I already have these colors in my collection elsewhere, and I just don't want to keep this around if I'm not going to be reaching for it, so I'm going to be decluttering this. And then this one is the Too Faced Salted Caramel palette. It's so gross on the top. It's like covered in makeup and setting spray. But this was from 2020? Yeah. And it looks pretty on the inside. The formula is still fine, surprisingly. It's just that I already have these colors in my collection, and when I swatched them, I was not going to be wearing these colors anymore. Like, I have other palettes that have this like coppery shade, which I really liked a few years ago, but now I don't know, maybe it's just like not the season for it, and I'm doing this declutter in the summer, so I'm like, I'm not gonna wear that. But honestly, I have this like copper shade in other palettes. I'm keeping my Naked Honey palette, so that one has definitely these orange shades in it. So if I really wanted it, I could just wear those. I didn't realize how pretty this shade was until I swatched it, but I just feel like I'm not really going to reach for this anymore. I do have pans in this, but I don't know what I'm going to do with this one because it is a bit on the older side. I always feel a little bit bad when I see like pans in my palettes, like because I can't give them away as easily, or I feel like bad about giving it away because it's obviously been used. And then I have my Essence Coffee to Glow palette. I brought this with me to Asia and I believe a few other places, but the shade I bought this for was this one, just this like color only, and it doesn't even look like the color that I want it to. It's way too light for me, and I wanted it to replace this eyeshadow from my Coffee Cat Wet n Wild palette. As you can see, I really love that shade, so I'm just keeping this palette for this shade at this point, to be honest. But you can see like the copper shade I was referring to in my other palettes. So I still have this palette, and it has a lot of browns in it. But this like marbled shade in this Coffee to Glow palette does not look anything like it. So I'm getting rid of it. And I mean, this formula is actually pretty nice. It's just, I feel like it's too light for me, but I can definitely pass this one on. And then I have this like quad, I guess. It is a quad, but there's only 2 shades in here, and they're both from the Huda Beauty Core Obsessions palette. So I moved the shades into here when I was like boycotting Huda Beauty because of that one article where she was like, yeah, you can bleach your vagina to lighten it and make it look better. And I was like, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And I can't believe she's telling people that. But my brother has told me that it was probably like a stupid intern doing it. Like, you know, just trying to post anything. So, and it probably wasn't her, and like something like that is way more common than you would think. So, I don't know. I'm going to give her a second try. So that's why I shop from Huda Beauty again. But this is old. I have not reached for it since hitting pan on this. So I'm going to get rid of it. There's like whole palette, because this is an e.l.f. palette. And I no longer buy anything from e.l.f. So I'm going to be decluttering this whole thing and probably just recycle it or something. And the last thing I have, this is the Natasha Denona Mini Tropic palette. And I got this on sale thinking that, like, you know, for $12.50 this was a good deal because I thought the pans were going to be bigger. But it's a good thing it's not, because I actually do not like the formula of this at all. So I feel like the shimmers are too glittery and the mattes are patchy. So for this one, I'm just going to get rid of it because I would not subject anyone to like the mattes in here, and it's already 40% of the palette. This is just not a good formula. So I also don't buy from Natasha Denona anymore. Like, this is the only thing I've ever purchased from her, and if this is what her like bigger pan palettes are like, I don't think I'm interested. Okay, so that was oh wait, no, I have one more thing. I recently hit pan on an eyeshadow from my Milani Gilded Pastels palette. This is great for doing like Y2K looks, which I like to do every now and then. And I hit pan on the shade right here. It's called Third Date. So that's the pan. I also have like a few other pans in here. Oh, no, just one other pan. I thought I used this more. But yeah. I wanted this palette for so long, so I'm like glad I'm actually getting a lot of use out of this palette. It's so dirty looking. So I had 12 eyeshadow credits in my Eyeshadow Beauty Bank because I have to separate the two. And so I hit pan. I only need to hit pan to get a credit. So I hit pan on one shadow, which means that I get 1 credit back. So that's 13 credits. It's so low. It's so little. To be honest, I don't know what other like eyeshadow palette that I would want later this year, but it's still early in the year, and I know during the holidays a lot of there's like a lot more releases, so maybe I'll be more interested in an eyeshadow palette then. But for now, no, I'm not really interested in anything, especially since I just got 2 new eyeshadow palettes. I feel like recently I've been wanting to buy more products, which is how I ended up with like 2 new eyeliners this month. But then I'm about to do my makeup inventory, so we'll see how much I want to still buy stuff after that reality check. But I don't know, it's just the feeling of getting something new for my birthday last month was like really exciting, and then something new this month as a belated present was also really exciting. And it's like that old feeling of getting an adrenaline rush whenever you get a new product. But I know that like once you get it in your hands, it's not as exciting as thinking about it, waiting for the product. So hopefully after my makeup inventory I will be less inclined to purchase products. So I'm gonna go film that, but it's going to go up before this video because I was supposed to do it in June. But that's all that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next month. Bye!